What's up, Rube? It's Little Big Robots back. Quick video. Quick, I don't know about quick. I always say quick. This time I'm going to be taking a look at this AMP suit. I've already reviewed it, so it's not really for that. If you want to pull out a little bit here, you can see. So it's a great McFarlane AMP suit from the movie Avatar 2. Same amp suit as it was in the first one, basically. There's a few differences in it, and I will link to my comparison video I did between the very old one from 2009 and the new one. I got 3 or 4 of these for 20-something a piece, $20 a piece. This one had broken plastic, so I decided I wanted to start dissecting my toys that I'm going to use for customs, dissecting them on video to kind of show how some of them work and how some of them piece together, and just to kind of get an idea of some of the design. Let me pause this. I'm going to take it out of the package. Alright, so got that removed. As usual, it's a bit of a crime how much plastic they use to keep these guys in there. As you can see, it's a great suit, mech suit. It does not come with the driver, with the corporal guy or captain guy, whatever his name is, which is a real shame. You can see all that detail in there and stuff. Really, really nice detail. So in that way, it's improved over the old one. The legs move a little bit differently than the old one. They do have a nice clacky feature. But I knew this would probably be the case. I didn't even start to look at it, but it should have. You might see those in there, some screw holes, basically. So I should be able to just screw them apart and see if I can literally just take it apart in pieces. Luckily, I've got this on video because if you ever do something like this and you're not sure, see, I'm gonna have to. Oh no, that'll reach. If you're not sure if you'll be able to kind of follow which screws go which later, just take a photo or a video of it, and then you can kind of figure it out that way. So I figured the waist here would be pretty easy to take off. And I've got in these boxes here, I have some bonus parts, hexa gear and some other stuff. And then I've got a nice a Halo mech that I want to take apart and see if I can combine with this. So see, really quick, you can start to see, who is that going to be? Goopy, little Goopy. So they have an actual little bit of a lubrication there, which is kind of, so you can see the ball joint there. It's really tight. It's really tight. It has to be able to hold those positions. From here you're not going to be able to take it apart as much because you have molded pieces that are glued together. This should clack. I thought it turned as well. Does it turn as well? I can't remember. Maybe not. Let's see. I'm afraid I'm going to hurt it. Let me see if I can see up in there. I don't remember if you could turn it, the feet. I don't think so. Okay, so that's one leg, another leg. So pretty quickly you could already see how you might be able to just use it like that and put whatever leg you want in there. For example, I have all my bulk arms and other kits here. I have some of the fantastic parts from whatchamacallits, what's that called? I can't remember, the helicopter one as well as some of the other ones. And you could start to see that you could start to combine parts pretty easily. So it's about what you thought. It's pretty much just posted together. What I like about the screws, though, is that you don't have to crack it and break it apart. Pretty fat waist. Got that oil there, which is kind of nice, actually, that they put that there. This is an interesting part. How the arm moves here. So it kind of clacks in the shape. The idea is that whenever the person, I don't know if they're stored like this, or if, like up against the wall for space, or if it's to allow the pilot to get in and out easier. I don't remember I haven't watched the second movie yet. In the first one, I don't remember if they had it parked up with the arms pulled back and then that goes down and the arms come forward. I believe that's what it did. So I like that part. At the same time, though, these get loose over time, and then it kind of doesn't hold hold it in place as well. But it's a nice arm. The only thing I'm seeing is I don't really see a way to disassemble the arm off of there. So what I should go next, I think, is probably I'll do all the screws in the back and see if the two halves come off, which I'm betting they do. These screws are not very tight, some of them, which kind of shocks me, but not really. I mean, you know, they're made really quickly in a factory in China. You can't blame some of the people if they go kind of quick when they've got to assemble like 300,000 of these. So that goes, I'm thinking that these parts are separate, part of the front part. I wonder if you could like push them out. Okay, so there's that screw. I'm trying to find another bolt or screw that might connect to it. Ah, right here. So this is probably going to not only keep it glued to or secured to the front part, the two parts together, but also keep the, is that coming undone? Keep the windshield. Just barely see that in there. Let's see if that can. But I can't tell if I'm screwing it or not. Let's try this one and see if I can tell. Because I don't want to warp or, you know, I don't want to get the screws to be warped out or anything. Let's see. Try. I got a bunch of different screw heads. And I do not want to warp that, or, you know, whatchamacallit, make it where it doesn't unscrew anymore. See, I don't see any difference there, so I'm not getting those loose. So I can get these screws out. Oh, look, there you go. That's kind of neat. Got some screws under there that I bet will take those two halves apart. That's interesting. I wonder if that would remove the arm doing that. I'm so happy that they're using a lot of screws, because like I said, that's less you have to snap stuff apart or crack or break stuff. Do you know what I mean? When you have to crack or break it, you're breaking parts. These have a bit of flexibility, so that's cool. Let's see. You know, I'm going to need to go get some more different screwdrivers. Let me do that, and I'll come back and we'll finish this up. All right, I'm back. While I was grabbing around for some screwdrivers, I also grabbed one of my extra Halo mechs. Grabbed about 4 million different screwdrivers. Let's just see if we can get one of these that'll unscrew this without stripping it out. I think we're probably good with one of these. Where'd that other one go? It's inside here. So what I'm trying to do is basically just get it into it kind of its base parts, so that then I can kind of sit down with all the parts I have. Let's see if this works. Ah, there we go. Much better. Base parts that I have, and see if I can just reassemble it into something interesting. I've been, one of the problems with running a YouTube channel where you review toys and stuff is that you you tend to collect a lot, hold tons of stuff like I do. You start to run out of room to display them, and then you've got to let's see if I can try this one. Then you've got to find the time to do the customs, and it can be really, really hard. Boy, that is in there good. So I'm trying to get stuff, all this extra parts and like kits and stuff I have, I'm trying to break them down, quote unquote, into kind of like their, see, that's already stripping it a bit, but not too bad. I'm trying to get them down into like their piles of arms and legs and stuff like that, so I can sit down one day. See, it looks like it's trying to come apart. So I can sit down one day and just start building. It's really one of those projects I've got to just find the time to commit to. I find that lately I've been wondering, if I'm not doing customs, then what am I doing? I don't want to just collect toys. That's just consuming something all the time, and I don't want to do that. I want to actually I'm a creative person. I really want to make stuff like I've always done my whole life. So I think that getting my collection and all the items organized is really the first step to being able to do that. So that part is interesting. There's a lot of really cool. So those two parts are lifted up. Some of these are very. Let me pause and see if I can get that broken. So I've got all the screws up, but what I'm noticing here is there's something catching this, obviously. Let's see. A little lip thing here. See that little part there? If you ever want to crack something, by the way, but you don't have like a good wedge, you can use an X-Acto, but what you need to do is you insert it like that, and always with it always pointing away from you. Don't cut towards yourself unless you're doing like that. But for something like that, you can just use the leverage of the twist there. See, so that cracked it. And see, I'm able to use it as a wedge. It's not golden all the time because, you know, there are, excuse me, parts that will be stronger than the blade, and you can end up cracking and breaking the blade. So you got to be careful. Just watch your hands when you do stuff like that. But you can do it like you can. This is good for, it's not the best, but it's good for separating like gunpla parts. You can stick it in there where you can get it and just do it slowly. Just be careful that if you're feeling a little resistance, don't push real hard, because that's how a slip happens and then you cut yourself. Let's see if I have a better, get into this size. If I could use this will be really perfect. There you go. So that's starting to come up. Where is it getting caught? So screws done. You always got to look out for screws. Always. It could be these. Let's see if those come off. Because I thought that I had these separated with some the screws. Once it was separated, it was coming up. I wonder if does it just pop out? Is it screwed in there? It looks almost like the arm slots in here. So you have this part here. See if I separate it a little bit. So like that, the arm looks like it might pop right out the end here. There you go. See? So the arm just slides into there. So there's a look at the arm. Some of the details you can't quite see. That's really cool. It's really a basic thing. Excuse me. You could see replacing that arm with, let's say, one of these longer arms. This one, for example, is cheaper. It was cheaper. It was $40, but then it went down low. As you can see, a lot of its parts there's no screws really. There's a couple here. You might find one there on the leg. Nope. So a lot of these are joined together to adhere them. They're not screwed together. So some of those you have to snap apart and then reassemble later. Okay, so let's see. We've got, these are the two halves. So we'll keep that here. Leg. Let's put the screwdrivers to the side. Luckily, I'm filming this, so if I get lost, I can go back and see how it went together. Arm. Get this separated here. Oh, I gotta unscrew it. Put that in a safer area. Let's use this one was better. So just be careful. Try to use different screwdrivers until you find one that works. There you go. You don't want to strip them out, but they're seems to be pretty basic screws. You could probably replace it with, if you have a box of screws that I keep a box of random screws, just because you might need to replace one. So what I could do without doing the other side, I might as well go ahead and do the other side. Here we go. So I can see it's already starting to come apart in some really nice ways. And what I'm hoping to do, really want to do, is blend some of this with Hexagear. The size difference is the characters, the scale, I should say, is different though between Hexagear and this. This is 124. This is like 118. Hexagear is more like 124. So, but you can fudge it with that cockpit. Okay, so should be able to pop that. How did I do it last time? That screw came out, didn't it? There we go. So that should be able to slide up. and out. There we go. Perfect. And you put those back together. So that'll give you an idea of that. Now my main question is how do I get this fully apart? It's starting to come apart. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so this is going to be a great, a really good view to have here. Let me see if I can adjust it a bit. I don't want to adjust it too much. Let's go down a little bit so I can see it better. There we go. It's a fantastic look at the details inside, which you weren't able to really get in and see before. What I'm curious about there, let's see if it'll focus. It'll focus? Let's see if I can get it to focus. No, let me see if I can get it to zoom in. Even better. So you can see the little, it's showing like the layout of the gun and the stats. That looks like it's just a stencil or something. It's a little bit crooked. Not bad, not bad. You got the cool little feet section. Here is the back area. What's really funny is I guess in the, oh, there it is. So there is a helmet. If you see that there, you can see a helmet behind the seat. See the helmet? So what I'd love to do is see if I can even get that. I bet you this will pop out like, you know, you squeeze it. That's pretty rigid though, so I don't think that's going to do it. Let's see if you see any other screws. How would you get the rest of it apart? Let's put this back up a bit so I can see a little bit better. That's like almost rubbery. How are those parts? See, what I want to do is get this to come apart. But that gives you, look at that. That's pretty cool on its own. The arms, really, really cool on their own. I don't know that you'd be able to separate the arm from there. You might be able to. I don't know if it's a hot water situation where like a, excuse me, like a McFarlane Warhammer 40K, you could pop that off and then use the arm somewhere. But what I'm wondering is if there would be a way to put that back together. Where did all that go? There we went. Like that. And then use these arms somehow. It has a screw. Let's see if I can just screw it off real quick. Is there a screw in there? I can't quite see. Let's see if I can get a good look. Yes, there is. Let's see if I can find one that fits it. Nothing quite going in there. It's just loose. I don't want to just go for it. Yeah, nothing. I wonder if that's a screw. It's like a, you can't see that in there, but there's not a screw. I don't know if you can see in there now. See that? It is actually flat, so there is not a screw. So that's unfortunate. I wonder how you could possibly, if you look inside of it. Sorry, I'm right up on the camera here. So this is all hollow. So it's possible you might be able to pop the tube. See how easy it is, and then you could like get a wedge in there, and then it has like a little, has maybe a little pin or something, like a little latch, like kind of like this. What's that called? That holds them together, so they're not necessarily glued. That might be a loose thing. I'll have to take a look off camera, and then you could pop those out of there, and then somehow you could work up one of these arms on there, or you could do a thing with the legs. So you simply put the two parts together like this. Can you imagine one of those legs on there with this? That'd be kind of cool. So there's a lot of different options like that. I also have all these, like I said, I have a ton of hexagear. I have a whole nother box over there. And I've got the extra leg parts from all that. So you know, you could work up some stuff there somehow. This is such an unusual way to hold your arms, but this here, see that little part there, I'm betting would work with, you know, a random part or something, or you could even rig something up, you know, that would be really cool. More of a scout looking thing. I think that'd be incredible. There's not much you're going to be able to do with the cockpit just because it is, it's just so, it is what it is, you know what I mean? But you could maybe rig up a seat in there so that your smaller figs could sit in there a little easier. It's large enough if you used an even smaller fig, maybe like a, you know, like I said, a 124 or something, you might be able to put 2 in there, like a 2-seater. Build a seat here, like that, right here. Put one guy sitting up higher, and then a seat down lower, and you could have like a 2-tier, like a co-pilot pilot system going on. Really, really cool. I'm glad I did that. I wanted to see. It's pretty easy to snap apart, pretty easy to put together. Much easier than this, where it's all like glued and stuff, which I hate. Of course, with Hexagear, you can completely take it apart, you know, just by pulling the parts apart. That's what it's literally meant for. And these are fantastic because they have all these neat, I forget how to open this one. It's been a while. They have all these really, really fantastic, oh yeah, go like this. These really cool 1/24 scale details. So you can see, you could probably, need that to focus. You could probably work something up with those. Really, really cool. Anyway, so I'm going to mess with that some more. I'm probably going to disassemble some of my figures on camera because I want to see how they work inside. Seeing how this is built, I'm actually really impressed. They didn't use too many super cheap parts. These are like a hard rubber. I don't know if you can tell that, whereas this is a little bit thinner. And what's cool about that is that means that these are, you could take these apart to customize the paint. Look, that's a part you would never see if you didn't take it apart. That's a little bit. You can really mess with them, you know, have a good time. I thought this rotated. There it does. Like this. And have this really, really nice. You could even use the arm just by itself on some other kit or whatever. Because the arm is so heavy, dude. It's like almost a resin, what a resin would be. Really, really cool. Anyway, not bad. Take a look, everybody. Keep an eye on the site because I will be using this to craft customs and stuff like that. I'm going to get all this kind of organized and put back together into a bag or a box like this so I can pull them out, work on an arm or whatever, and go from there. Have a good one, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.